This is why your lack of discipline is gross. Hi Pookies, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time seeing my face, hi, welcome. My name's Rosanna. I'm 22 years old and it's just vibes over here. I love how my intro for every single video is completely different. I need to think of one fixed thing to say. People always have one fixed thing and I always say a million different things. Anyways, so I saw someone else do a video like this, which was basically talking about a lack of discipline, and I wanted to hop onto this because you guys have seen my first video of the year where I was talking about all my New Year's resolutions and how discipline is just going to be such a foundational, like, it's going to be a factor that plays into whether or not all of those goals get achieved. Discipline. So I want you to just stay with me here for a second. Picture yourself with someone you love, whether that's your mom, dad, brother, sister, boyfriend, cousin, auntie, uncle, dog, cat, fish, whoever. And now picture that person telling you that this is what they want, this is what they want to achieve, this is how they want to achieve it, they know they can do it, they really need you to help them out with that, and you are the only person that can help them with that. So you obviously say yes because hello, you love that person, you're gonna say yes. Then comes the day to help them and you just are like, never mind, no, I'm just gonna stay here, I'm just gonna stay in my bed, just gonna stay in my room, I'm not gonna do that thing, I'm not gonna show up for that person, even though I promised them I would, even though I know how much it means to them, even though they've asked me many times. I'm just not going to do that. I'm just gonna stay right here. Now picture that person is you. That is what it is. If you promise yourself something, if you say you're gonna do something and you put out the steps and you look at yourself and you're like, I don't know your name watching, so I'm gonna use my name, but you're like, Rosanna, I want this. I know you can do this, you've got this, let's go and get this. And then you just don't show up for yourself. That's embarrassing, that's humiliating, that's gross. And if you wouldn't do it to someone you deeply, deeply love and care about, why on earth would you do it to yourself? It's the same thing with like the way you speak to yourself, right? Your brain. If you are going to constantly put yourself down, you're going to constantly be highlighting your insecurities to yourself. You're going to be constantly just making yourself feel horrible. Remember, you are the only person who needs to live in your brain. If you don't like it in there, that's only your problem, okay? But sometimes it becomes other people's problem. Do you want other people to have to deal with the ugly things that go on in your mind? If you constantly are making your mind an ugly place to live, then don't be surprised when your world around you looks ugly, when your world around you is unfulfilled and it's unsuccessful, because you keep promising yourself things, you keep saying you're going to do things, not to us, not to the world. You don't promise the world, you promise yourself, and then you just don't show up for yourself. Why are you not disciplined enough to do that? Pookie, quick fast, answer me. I feel like discipline is something that needs to be taught in schools, and I don't mean the way that they teach us like by screaming at us all the time. I mean like they should help us when we have specific goals, help us like stay on them and push, even if it's difficult, even if we fail a million times. I feel like, I don't know if this was anyone else's experience, but in school, if I was ever bad at something, I was just like, okay, I'll just go on to the next one. Like no one ever really gave me that chance to be like, no, let's do it again and again and again and again and again. You're gonna get this right. You need to stay on it. If you need to come back here 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, then you'll come back here 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, you know? And I feel like that is something that you need to teach yourself if you're my age, which based on the demographics of the people who typically watch my videos, if you're my age now, no one is coming to save you, which is a scary thought, but it's also a beautiful thought, which means everything in front of you is up to you. You can literally create the life you want to create. But if you don't have any discipline, there's not going to be anything to create. You're not going to see anything. Here's another reason why having a lack of discipline is actually really, really gross, is because it communicates to you that you don't care about yourself that much. You don't care about disappointing yourself. So let's use working out as an example. It's just the first thing that came to mind because I've been on my health grind, like trying to make healthier choices when I'm eating, you know, doing my 10K steps a day, getting my workouts in, sleep above all, so important. I would literally stay on my phone till like 2 in the morning scrolling, doing nothing. Now, 9:30 baby, I'm asleep. Okay, working out, right? If you say to yourself, I want to, because it's not always about losing weight. That's another thing I want to talk about. I don't want people to think when I talk about like working out, like the goal is to lose weight. I work out because it helps me, one, have a routine for the day. It gives me a reason to wake up because I know I'm going to wake up, do my 10K steps, do this workout, do that, then shower, and then the day has started. Okay, that's the first reason. 2, it makes me feel so good. Like, do you know how good you feel? Like, there's a reason people call it sweat therapy. It's therapy. You feel so amazing afterwards, and the certain hormones and chemicals that get released into your brain, just it's like a rush. But anyways, let's say you tell yourself, okay, I am going to work out, and I'm going to work out X amount of times a week, X amount of times a week, and for this amount of time each time. And you do it maybe for like a week or 2 weeks, and then you're like, you know what, this is getting hard, and you just stop showing up and you stop doing it. That tells your brain, in the back of your little brain, that you are okay with disappointing yourself. You set this goal, you said, you know what, I want to achieve this, and you haven't achieved it, but you're gonna stop, you're not going to do it. Which then again brings me back to the whole thing about, think of it if it was someone else, okay? If it was somebody else that you really, really loved and you really, really cared about, the idea of letting them down and disappointing them for no good reason would crush you, would it not? So why are you so okay with disappointing yourself? Why are you so okay with letting yourself down? Why are you so okay with giving up on your dreams, giving up on your goals, not showing up for yourself? I'd actually think that you're the main character. You need to show up for yourself before you're ready to show up for anyone else, and vice versa. Next thing, discipline bleeds over. Okay, let me explain a little bit. Stick with me here, stick with me. These things are just coming to me. I literally have no notes. These things are just coming to me as I turn the camera on. Discipline bleeds over into every single factor of your life. So you can start with trying to be disciplined in one specific area of your life, right? Like working out, but you'll very soon find that because you've put yourself on this strict routine in this area of your life, naturally you're just going to be disciplined in other things. So first I was like, I'm going to discipline myself. I am going to stick to a content creating schedule. Okay, very strict one. I have film days where I sit and I film all day. I have edit days where I sit and I edit all day. I have days where I don't do anything social media wise because my brain needs the cleanse. My point is, I'm very strict about my content creating schedule and everything that surrounds that. Then I found myself saying, okay, I want to work out. And I came at it with the same approach that I came at my content creating with. Very strict schedule, very, very specific things on what I'm going to do on specific days, how I'm going to do them. Certain days where I'm not going to work out at all, I'm just going to chill and I'm just going to let myself have a break because my body needs the rest. Then it falls into things with my relationships with my friends and my family. Very strict. If I set a date with a specific person to meet up or to have lunch or to have a phone call or to talk or anything like that, I will show up for it. No flaking just because I'm feeling a little bit tired, which that's a different thing. If you want to cancel plans because you really, really just need the break, no is a full sentence. You're allowed to do that, okay? I'm just talking about other circumstances. If I make plans with a friend or with someone, anyone that I love very much, I show up to the plans, and not just show up. When I'm there, I'm present. There's a quote me and Liam have been talking so much about because it's in the book that I've been reading called 101 Essays That Will Change the Way That You Think. And one of the quotes in the book is, be where your feet are. And it sounds so simple and sounds so like, duh, be where your feet are. But like, they're talking about if you are, okay, stay with me here. The past is behind us. Nothing we do, no amount of overthinking, no amount of analyzing, no amount of examining, questioning, wondering, what if, will change the past. Nothing will change the past. The future doesn't exist yet, and it's pretty difficult to predict. We think we can, but how many times have you ever thought something was definitely going to happen and it didn't, or something was definitely not going to happen and then it did? So really all we have is right here, right now, where our feet are. And what that means is that the best thing that you can do for yourself so that you don't overthink the past and you don't overthink the future and you don't stress about things that are essentially not even real is to just be present in every single moment that you are. You'll find that that helps you so much more with connecting with the people that you're at. If you're at a dinner table, be at the dinner table, talk to the people, make eye contact, be present in that moment. If you're in the car with your loved one and you guys are driving, be in the car with your loved one, like be talking to them, be having that that be present. Do you know what I mean? Discipline is hard, but a lack of discipline is even harder, I would argue. And here is my argument. Discipline is hard. It's hard to wake up every single day and stick to a schedule that you've preset. It's hard to wake up every single day and say, I'm gonna do this and this and this and this. And you never know what the day is gonna bring. So many days can become so crazy and so out of control. But the fact that you're able to still accomplish that at the end of the day, even though it was hard, is so rewarding, and it is just such an amazing feeling. But it was hard. It was still hard to do that, right? Lack of discipline is the same, because if you say, today I'm going to do this and this and this and this, and the end of the day comes and you haven't done any of it, that is hard too. It's hard to look at your to-do list and say, wow, I did not achieve any of the things on here. It's hard to look at your goals and say, you know, these are my resolutions. I was going to say New Year's resolutions, but whatever. These are my resolutions, these are my goals, this is what I wanted to achieve, and I didn't achieve any of it. If anything, I lost something. That is hard too. That is hard to reconcile with, because trust me, I've had to do it. I am only telling you this because I have learned it the hard way. I have had to reconcile with myself on so many things that I feel like were my fault. I wish that I had just had the discipline to just do what it was I was doing, rather than just dropping things and letting them go, because sometimes I can't help but wonder, where would I be if I had just stuck to this? I don't think about it that often, because like I said, dwelling on the past really doesn't serve any purpose, and it doesn't mean anything, and no amount of doing it is going to change anything ever. But that is hard. It's hard to sit there and look at a to-do list or a list of achievements that you wanted to achieve and realize that the moment is gone, the chance is gone, that time is gone, and you're not getting it back, and you didn't do it. That is hard too. That is almost just as hard as waking up in the morning and saying, time to go walk 10k steps. That business idea that you had that was going to bring you so much money, yes, would it have been hard to carry that plan out? Absolutely. Is it even harder to look at your bank account and see how much is not there that maybe could have been there if you had just chased that dream a little bit harder? That is also hard. That is also difficult. So pick your struggle. Let's get into the emotional part of it, right? So something that I've noticed is that as useful as therapy is, it does not just end when you walk out of that therapist's office. It has to follow you. And it's the same thing with like people that will read these amazing self-help books. You can't just read the book and then close it and then that's done. You have to let that follow you. You have to take that with you. And that is a form of discipline in and of itself. You have to be disciplined enough to say, you know what? I am in charge of my emotions. I can't remember if I was not a big reader back then, so I probably just heard it on a TV show or something, but it said, if other people can easily upset you, if other people can easily get a rise out of you, that means you are easily manipulated. Does that make you feel good about yourself? Do you like to hear that? Do you want to be easily manipulated? No. If you have decided that you're going to have a good day, have a good day, and don't let other people's bad energy bring you down. Don't let everything that's going on around you. And I'm not just trying to like say this in tongue in cheek and be like, whatever, you know, because I do understand how difficult it can be from somebody who, like I'm saying, I'm only saying all of these things because I have experienced them. It takes discipline to be in charge of your emotions. It takes discipline to not let certain things affect you, to block them out. But it is so worth it, and it is so rewarding, and you owe it to yourself, because not everyone is gonna have your best, what is the word? Why was I thinking intentions? I was like, no, that it's not intentions. Not everyone is gonna have your best interests at heart. So, oh my gosh, and we were watching this movie the other night, and one of the lines in the movie was like, this guy was talking about his grandfather, and he was like, grandpa loved people, he just didn't trust them very much. And I'm like, you know what, that is kind of like me now, and I feel like that is something that you can apply a little bit in your everyday life. Love people, love being around them, but don't absorb their energy. Don't feed into everything that they are feeding into. You don't need to be upset just because everyone else is upset, and just because someone is trying to make you upset and trying to bait you into an argument. No, you are in charge of your emotions, and be disciplined enough to, whatever that self-help book was that you read a while ago, you know, the one, carry that with you. Remember that. If that means you need to go back and read it again, discipline yourself enough to go sit down and read it again, then you go do that. But carry these lessons with you. All these little things that you pick up in life, all these lessons, carry them with you, because they mean something. You remember these things for a reason. And I really feel like that's true. The advice that I've gotten over the years, I've had people give me great advice, horrible advice, unsolicited advice that was meaningless and I never did anything with. But there are certain things that people have said to me that I have just never forgotten. And I really believe that like us as people and our personalities and our paths and just who we're going to become in this life, there are certain things that we're going to need to take with us, certain lessons we're going to need to remember. And I don't know why I think that, but I just do. Like I just in my heart can feel like we remember certain things for a certain reason. So be disciplined enough to the same lessons that you like to hand out to other people, the same lessons you like to dish out, the same advice you like to dish out, maybe have some for yourself, okay? Maybe stop being the supportive person for everyone else. Be the supportive person for yourself. The person that's always trying to please other people. Are you pleased? Be happy with yourself. Why is that workout still undone? Why is that book still unwritten? Why is that book still unread? Why is the bookmark still halfway and you haven't touched it in 3 months? Why is that video you filmed still sitting in the draft? Why have you not filmed the video in the first place? Come on, believe in yourself, show up for yourself, discipline yourself enough to go through with things even when they're scary. Because even things are going to be scary. Things are going to be so scary. Things are not easy. They're so easy to sit and talk about and all day. But once it's actually time to take action, that's when the real people will come forward and we'll see who's really about themselves when it's time to start taking action. Because the disciplined people will. They will show up and they will show up consistently. And I hope to see you in that line, Pookie. You are so amazing and you have come so far and you are so necessary and wonderful and just such a crucial part of this world. We deserve you. The world deserves you. So share yourself with the world. Discipline yourself. Show up for yourself and then share your beautiful self with the world. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you made it all the way to the end, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. Follow me on my Instagram, TikTok, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.